Okay. Well, if you're watching the replay, I apologize for the weirdness. I don't know what's going on. I've got to work this out after this live. I'm not really sure. It's never done this before. It will not let me turn my camera on, which means I also can't hook up my iPad, and I'm not sure why any of it's happening. I had restarted my computer. I restarted StreamYard. I restarted my browser. I tried everything, and it is not working. So we're going to have to just go with audio today. So you'll see this fun little circle, and I'm not sure why. Let me try. I'm going to try to hook up my iPad one more time. And if that doesn't work, then we will just... Actually, I might be able to share my screen. Let's see. If I just share my screen, then y'all can see my messy desktop, and you can see... Okay, thanks y'all for coming back. I see some of you back on here. Let me get Instagram going. All right. Sorry, friends, for any of you watching right now. I know things are weird. I cannot get my camera set up for some reason. Hello, Instagram. Now I'm live on Instagram too. For some reason, I can't get my camera hooked up. I don't know why. So I'm just going to do this by audio. Normally, I would have my iPad here. I'm gonna try to hook up my iPad one more time here. So give me one sec, and then I will. I'm just gonna have to troubleshoot after this because I can't figure out why it is not working. Okay, let me see if I can get my... Nope, I can't do that because that would use Zoom, and I'm already on a camera thing. Well, maybe I can hook up my Zoom. Hold on, because I'm not on Zoom right now. I mean, I'm not on camera. Let's see if this will work, and then I might be able to do a little video. Bear with my friends. While we're waiting for me to figure out all this tech stuff, why don't you comment for me in the comment section and let me know where you're watching from. And let's see, it's probably mid-afternoon for you. What did you have for lunch? What is your plans for dinner? Let me know those things in the comment while I'm trying to figure this crazy thing out. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you let me know, I will put your comment up on the screen so everyone else can say hi. Okay, so what I'm going to try here is I'm going to try to go into my personal Zoom. No, it's a computer. Something's wrong with my camera. That's what it is, because I'm trying to use Zoom. It won't let me do that. It could be because I'm on StreamYard. I don't know. But I am out of video hacks, so we're going to have to just do this. Sorry, guys. We're going to have to just do this with audio today. Okay, so let's move on. Let's pretend that you can see me. So imagine I straightened my hair today for you. I put makeup on, and I'm wearing a black shirt with a gray sweater. That's what you're going to have to imagine. And I happen to be drinking a green juice, which it looks super, super green. I wanted to share a really, really fun hack with you. I will describe it visually, and then I have to put it on my YouTube channel because it is so amazing. Let me know, you guys, in the comment section. Just let me know that you can hear me. Jess, are you back? Let me know that you can hear me, just so I know that I'm not talking to nobody. I got a heart from somebody. Michelle, thanks, dear. Okay, cool. So NS says, hello, had a huge bowl of sweet kale salad from Costco and plan a lentil cake for dinner. That sounds delicious. Can you tell me about this lentil cake? That sounds amazing. I am also having a bagged salad today from the grocery store. I'm having the Mexican street corn one from Taylor Farms. It's not organic or anything, but we got it on our trip yesterday. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. I'm just going to go from here, Michelle. Blanca, thank you, dear. Thanks for letting me know that you can hear me. Okay, so we're just going to go with audio today. Tell me more about that lentil cake, NS. That sounds amazing. So what I'm, if you can imagine me, I have this beautiful green juice in front of me. So funny story, I bought these seeds from the grocery store on clearance. They were like to make cat grass and, grass for cats to eat. And then my cats are not normal cats and they don't care about anything. So I made this beautiful cat grass for them. And it's like I have this like quote unquote salad bowl pot that I can grow like lettuce and salad and things like that. So it's like full of grass. Imagine this grass is like 4 inches tall. My cats don't care at all about it. And I'm like, what do I do with this grass? A long time ago, I had a bad experience with wheatgrass. The first time I ever juiced wheatgrass, it's probably been 20 years ago now. And it made me so sick because I wasn't used to eating like green stuff. It made me so sick. And so every time I go past a freshly mowed lawn, I get nauseous. And if I ever have wheatgrass, I'm just like, bleh, wheatgrass juice. Thank you, Jackie, so much. I appreciate that. And so every time I have wheatgrass juice, I'm like, this is disgusting. But today I experimented and I put it in my juice today and I actually can't taste it. So I'm super stoked. The juice that I'm having today, and I don't always juice, but I've been wanting to. So celery, what else did I put in? Celery, catgrass. Well, I guess you could just say wheatgrass. It's a few different types of grass. What was the other thing? Oh, I actually took a picture of it and I'm going to put it on, I'm going to put it on my Instagram. Lemon juice, celery, catgrass, and green apple. That's what I did. So you guys will be able to see a picture of that soon. That's what I started off with. And then I also, because, we went out for Memorial Day and we went to Albuquerque, which is not too far from where we live. We did like 2 days, 2 nights, and we stayed at a hotel. And then we went, I wanted to go to the, what do you call it? The aquarium and the botanical garden. They have a really, really beautiful botanical garden there, turns out. So we went there, and then I had forgotten that one of my favorite shows, Breaking Bad, was filmed in Albuquerque. So we went and did a little tour yesterday just to like find a couple of the places. And if y'all know, if you've watched Breaking Bad, we went to Walt's house and we also went to, what is it? Los Pollos Hermanos. So that was amazing. And then we came right home after that. So that was super, super cool. But of course, when you go away for a little while, you come back and you don't have any groceries, of course. So I went grocery shopping this morning and, we didn't have a ton of fresh food. We went to a deli, like Jason's Deli at one point. So I had a nice veggie wrap there. And I had bought a salad, but I didn't eat it yet. So I got a bunch of vegetables and things all stocked up again. And here I am having my juice now, and I have a salad planned for later, and I just had a soup. So if y'all did the challenge, I want to ask actually, okay, so Reba says I had black beans and salsa on corn tortilla, yum, with salsa and greens and shredded carrots, cabbage, and zucchini. That sounds amazing. Let me know in here, first of all, before we get this thing kicked off, let me know how many of y'all did the challenge, or if you did the challenge, how did it go? Give me a little feedback here on how that went. Hello, Patty. Patty, you're on Instagram, so unfortunately I can't put your comment up on the screen, but I'm going to read it. Patty Hoteling, watching from Napa, California, had vegetable soup. I'm trying to recover from COVID. First time getting it. Oh, I'm sorry. I've had it a couple times. It's not the most fun thing. I hope it goes fast for you. And yeah, keep that soup going. Yum. So let me know if y'all are doing the challenge. Oh, right, Blanca. Okay, so you say I'm on day 2 of the challenge because my power went out last week, trying to recover. Yep, absolutely. I know that's rough too. That's a real bummer. And Blanca's also in the texting group, which is where we just text each other during the day and hold each other accountable and talk about food and things like that. If y'all are interested in that, you can join that too. It's only $19 a month. It's a WhatsApp group that you guys get real-time access to me and ask questions and things like that. So we just finished the challenge last week. I mean, oh my gosh, yes, no, 2 days ago, Sunday. Jackie needs challenge info. Okay, let me find the link for it. I have it in here somewhere. Let me find it. Because you can go get it if you want. We're done with it now. So we just finished it on Saturday. If you happen to want to pick it up, you can pick it up right here. I'm going to put this in the comment section so you can pick that up. We did it all live together. and it's finished now, but feel free to go pick that up. Lots of recipes and meal plans and things like that. So we finished that. Sorry, I keep thinking it's Monday. We finished it on Sunday. That was a 7-day challenge. Whole foods, plant-based recipes with a little bit of flexitarian options like chicken and things like that. If you're eating chicken and stuff like that. So we finished that, and then yesterday we just opened the Eat to Live family, guys. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Is one of my favorite tools for achieving your health goals, getting healthy, things like that. We're going to talk a little bit more about that today. Yesterday I opened. We're only going to be open for a few more days to join. I wish I could. I can write things using banners. Hold on. I can write some things. So let me put a banner up for this. My girl Michelle gave me a link. Let me get this link real fast, guys. Oh, it's in my Asana. So this is open right now. And what am I talking about? Eat to Live Family is a community that I have. It's kind of like Facebook, but it is not on Facebook. It's its own private social media network, which I love because I'm not a huge fan of Facebook. It's so distracting. And I find that every time I'm on Facebook, I go to do something, and then before you know it, it's 2 hours later and I'm watching comedy videos, and I didn't mean to do that. And everything's annoying because I didn't get the thing done that I wanted to do. And so I created, let me change this, join the Eat to Live family. And I'm going to put this link up here for you guys to see. So join the Eat to Live family. And here's the link. It's a bit.ly link. So it's bit.ly/joinetlf. Okay, bit.ly.joinetlf. So you can go there and join the family. What is the family? So it's a community that I created 3.5 years ago. It's still going strong. I still have members that have been in there literally since the first day. It's that great to be in there. It really is like a family now. You know, a lot of the times nowadays when you get into a group of people online, it can be really catty, or it can you can feel really like, oh, am I not compliant? Can I not say this or whatever? We are the opposite of that. It's the most supportive place I think you'll find on the internet. A lot of even the places that are like really strictly like Eat to Live, nutritarian kind of groups, which mine is a lot more lax nowadays just because I'm not 100% nutritarian. But those, they tend to be really sort of, I don't know, elitist, exclusionary kind of a thing. And I don't stand for that. I don't let that stuff happen in my group. So what do we do in there? It's like Facebook, so we can chat with each other. We can post. We do accountability posts. And then we also, the biggest part of what we do is we do coaching. So I'm a coach about helping people end binge eating, emotional eating, overeating, and then also in turn, obviously, eating healthy. And people join so that they can learn all about how to do that. So I coach twice a month on these calls, and anyone can come on and get coached and learn how to eat healthy consistently, because consistency is the name of the game. Okay. So if y'all want to look into that, it's only $49 a month. You could, it's cancel anytime. So you can just join and then leave if you want. But also I always recommend never do that. I always recommend do the yearly option. Okay. So consider joining us yearly. When you join yearly, not only do you get it for $4.90, which is 2 months free every year, but you're also committing to a full year of taking care of yourself in this way. Okay. One of our gals in this call just joined, so I'm excited to see her in here. I believe, Blanca, you joined, right? I believe you were in before and you joined again. That's how family we are. We know each other and all that. So what do? We talk about whole foods. We talk about how to eat healthy, how to be consistent. Yep. Blanca joined for the year. She did the annual. And she's also in the texting group too, which is a super nice place to be and supportive. Okay. So what are we talking about today? I'm going to tie all this in. Okay. So okay, hold on. I got to put this comment up from Blanca. Can I scream this one from the rooftops? It says, I came back to the family because I realized that there was nothing better out there. Nothing better out there, you guys. Blanca, thank you for saying that. Thank you for telling us that. I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to tattoo it on my face. Such a great thing to hear. Blanca, if you don't mind sharing with us, because you were in for a little while, you left and you came back. Can you just maybe give us a couple sentences about what you believe it's so like why is it so useful and helpful? I would really, really love to hear that. She says it's true. Can you tell me a little bit about why you believe that? What is it about it that you really love? And while you're typing that, I'm going to get into what I'm talking about today, which is what I'm calling the most powerful tool to achieve your health goals. So we're actually going to go through a few different things. The most powerful tool, I'm just going to give you a spoiler of what it is. The most powerful tool to achieve. Actually, I'm going to make a little banner for it, because that way I can just pretend like I have my iPad hooked up. Most powerful tool to achieve your health goals. Yeet. Sorry. My fingers are being mad at me right now. Okay. The most powerful tool to achieve your health goals. What could that possibly be? You might think it's like a bathroom scale. You might think it's like a phone where you can be connected with people, or you might think it's like your best friend who's like going to hold you accountable, or your blender that can make you smoothies or whatever. It's none of that stuff. It's actually your mind. It's actually your brain. And the problem is that most people don't give their brains enough credit. Almost all people don't give their brains enough credit. We don't think that, many of us are talked into the idea that we're food addicts and we're like beyond repair. And that's just 100% incorrect. Not 95%, 100% incorrect. None of us are beyond repair. We all have the ability to attain those health goals we're looking for, whether it's weight loss or whether it's, health, reversing a disease, preventing a disease, whatever. We all have the ability to do that, even if we think we're, too far gone, or we've been dieting for too long or whatever. My program is all about how do we keep eating healthy, even when we've tried everything in the book. We're so sick of it all. We can't restrict anymore. That's where I am. I just cannot restrict anymore. I can't do any very, specific stuff anymore. Like, oh, I'm just going to stick to this. I'm just going to fast today, or I'm just going to juice today. We're like, it's not possible for me anymore. So how do we lose weight and how do we stay healthy, even when those things are tough for us? How do we do it in a way that feels like we could actually do it this way forever? That's what I teach. Okay. I'm going to take a break to, see what Blanca says. So she says, I thought that I was missing foods that I love. My A1C went up again, and I just needed to cut that out and remember my health was more important. My family was more important. And the way you were teaching us to eat is not restrictive. Actually, it's actually tasty. It's actually very nice. And so I feel like I've been missing out for no reason, and I'm glad to be back. I'm so glad to hear that, Blanca. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. If that's not an amazing testimonial, I don't know what is. If you are interested in joining us in there for that support, you can go to join Eat to Live Family there at bit.ly.joinetlf. Okay. So the most powerful tool to achieve your health goals is actually your mind, your brain. I talk a lot about this in my messaging and what I do, and my program is the biggest part of my program is not accountability. It's not, buddy system. It's not a course or something like that. It's the power of your own brain. This is going to sound obvious when I say it, but it's not easy to flip your mind to think this, to believe this. So there is that sentence of like, if you think you're right, or if you think you're wrong, wait, what is it? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. You're right. Either way, you're right. Or no, that's sorry. If you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. Either way. And that's actually what this is. It sounds so basic, but it's very hard for people because when we have a belief, it's something that we have practiced for so long. So we actually truly believe it, like sentences like, oh, I'm a food addict, or I have trouble with wine, or I have trouble with sugar, or, I can't control myself around whatever food or something like that. We start to have these really, really ingrained beliefs. And then we think that that's it. We think that's our um, like our story and that's our future. But that's just not true. The reason it's not true, and I know this to be true because I ended my own binge eating using these techniques. And what I mean techniques is like the power of my own brain. Like I was able to end my own binge eating, and I've done that for so many clients. That freedom from the, I guess, bondage or the chains of feeling like you're a food addict, feeling like you're beyond repair, that is so tough to get over unless you know somebody that can guide you through that. And what do I mean by that? I mean, somebody that can actually guide you through how do you believe something different about yourself and then actually act differently, right? So if you believe you can't, you're right. If you believe you can, you're also right. But how do you get to believe that you can do it? Well, that's what I teach. Okay. The first thing that we're going to talk about today, not as related, but I just like to go through this and I want to kind of do it as a community, like a little community exercise here. I would love for you to respond to this question. What is your why? Okay. So Blanca actually in her last comment was just saying what her why is, right? Her family is so important. Her health is so important and her A1C is important to keep that down blood sugar wise. So what is your why? Let me know in the comments here. If you guys can take a second to put down some thoughts and tell me what you're thinking about. What are the reasons that you want to eat healthier or you want to lose weight or you just want to kind of get healthier in general? What are the reasons that you want to do that? I do a lot of these strategy calls where I'm talking with people about how to get healthy. And the thing that comes up all the time is children, grandchildren, and being able to enjoy our later life, right? The second half of our life, the third of our life, if you will. Being able to enjoy this portion of life here that many of us, we don't even get that blessing to be able to enjoy that part of life. And can we enjoy it a little bit more? Would we rather have pleasure in the moment and taste those things or hold that off so that we can have long-term pleasure of being with our family? So some of my whys, you guys, the first one, I think that maybe this sounds a little bit weird, but the first one for me is it's not about like outside stuff, because I think having a why that's about outside stuff is important and it's wonderful to have that. But for me, my biggest why is because I don't want to feel like food controls me. I don't want to feel out of control. I don't want to feel like something else is in control of me. And as long as I'm believing this idea that I'm a food addict or that I can never get better or something like that, then I'm just always going to feel out of control. And what I've learned over the years is that it's not the food that does it that actually fixes us or whatever. It's our brain. It's our mind. And we can actually change our brain. We don't even have to eat perfectly to get there. And we don't have to eat perfect to be consistent. Okay. Yeah, and Blanca says another why is that you teach us recipes. And even though I can get those recipes off of Dr. Fuhrman, this community is so helpful in seeing how to get that support from each other as well. Absolutely. Yeah, the recipes part of what we do is so big. I just think like people posting recipes and being social about that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, you're doing this right now. Let me try that too. Or, that kind of a thing. And I think it's such a nice way to be able to just interact in that way. And it is my community, the Eat to Live family, is like Facebook. It's not on Facebook, but it is like Facebook. So if you want to know more about that, you can check out the link. Just being able to interact with people in that way where you can post, it's like a familiar way, like we know how to use Facebook, but it's not on Facebook so that we don't get inundated with all this other stuff that's on Facebook. So understanding your why, I think, is important. And, I think those ideas of, oh, well, I want to have better blood pressure or want to avoid cancer or this, that, those things are great. However, they don't tend to be long-term reasons. They don't tend to be something that we can, like in the moment when we want to have that chocolate cake or whatever, it's not really the thing that kind of keeps us going. And the best thing in this case for me is being able to learn to be in control again. And I think all of us can do that. But we have to do that in a way where we're not restricting. So it's not this like white knuckle, just hold on for another 2 hours or something. That's really, really not it. That's something that will work for a little while, but that's not a long term solution. What is the solution that works long term is, as Blanca was saying, what we do is we remove restriction from stuff. We don't go all out and eat everything we want all the time. That's not it. And that's not going to be helpful either. That's the other extreme. We learn how to actually make it so that we don't feel restricted about any kind of food. And if we don't feel restricted about any kind of food, then we won't go overboard with any food either. Yeah, Blanca says, in our texting group, we were talking about cravings, and I remember that you have actually a system or some questions that we ask on how to deal with those situations individually. And I just can't remember it, but I'm going to go back into the family and find out again. Yep. So inside the family, when you join, you get access to 3 courses, 3 like video courses. So the first course is called the Quick Start Program, or the here, let me just put this. So it's called the Quick Start, aka the 1 pound down system. So this is my 3-step system, my method, if you will. Here, let me put this up. So the Quick Start Program, or the 1 pound down system, is my 3-step method to help you understand how to be more consistent, how to be healthier, how to make choices in the moment that actually support your health instead of just your tongue and your brain, and how to actually do that in a way that you feel you can do forever, that you feel you can do consistently forever. And so I teach you only 3 things, and then I teach you how to repeat those things. And once you've been with me for a little while, you know that you kind of like learn, oh my gosh, these really are the only 3 things I need. And everyone is giving you all these diet plans and meal plans and point systems and calorie counters and all this stuff. That stuff doesn't work in the moment when you just want to eat the chocolate bar. So it's not about having these kinds of point systems, or these like numerical systems somehow, or accountability systems where you have to call a buddy or have a sponsor or something like that. That is not going to work long term. What works long term is if you change from the inside out, like you change the way you think and the way you act. And that's what I teach folks. Okay. So you get those, you get that program when you join. You also get access to what I call the Eat to Live Academy, which is a much bigger program that sort of expands on all that. And yeah, so we're going to teach you about that. And then there's the advanced course as well, which is all about like weight loss, healthy eating, and just everything's all about how to stay consistent. Okay. So another thing that I feel like what I'm talking about here, I just have some notes from what I was going to say today, which is this idea of how to overcome those mental blocks. So for instance, when we say, if I think I can, or I think I can't, I'm right. How do we actually change that mental block that says I can't, right? Like, oh, I'm just not able to do it, or it won't work for me, or whatever. And this is what the coaching actually does. So inside of the family, we coach twice a month, 3 times a month for folks who've been in for over a year. I also have my Vitality coaching program, which is where you can get even more coaching. But in the family, and the generic sort of month-to-month family, that's the $49 a month group. You have access to 2 coaching calls per month. I typically will coach for an hour to 2, sometimes even a little bit more on each of those calls. If you get there early, you can always get coached. You just raise your hand, and it's easy to get coached on those calls. And we coach from everything to work stress, like why do I feel so stressed out? Or I'm having trouble with the foods in the break room, or there's, we have a lot of nurses and stuff. Oh, there's always food around in the break room. What do I do? Or teachers, people are always giving us free food and donuts and stuff. Or, what do we do when our family is mocking us or talking down to us or whatever? What do we do during the holidays? All these things that kind of make us fall off track. But then also like even deeper stuff like marriage help or marriage advice, or, say we're married to somebody who has addictions, gambling addictions, porn addictions, whatever. I've coached on every single topic you can possibly think of over the last 7 years. How do we, in my special sauce here is I'm a certified life coach, and I know that the way that we eat and the way that we take care of ourselves has everything to do with how we feel about our life and how we feel about the moment to moment, day by day things that happen. So we could find ourselves triggered by driving past a fast food place that we've been to before. We could just be triggered by remembering a food that we love, and then suddenly we have to eat that. We can be triggered by hunger. We can be triggered by any kind of stress, fatigue, all that. We can just be triggered by seeing a commercial or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything big either. But we need to be able to have a simple system that we can use to get through those things. And so that's what I teach. It's only 3 things. And I've heard so many times from my program that some of the things that I say, you've heard them before, but I say them in a different way. Like I say them in a way you've never seen before, and in a way that actually feels doable. That's really my favorite word for all of this, is making it doable. So I narrowed it down to 3 things that you have to know, and that's it. You just practice those 3 things. You practice them for the rest of your life, and you get better and better and better at them. It's like learning tennis or learning a new language. So I teach you those 3 things in there. I coach you on how to do them yourself. And also, we've been open for 3.5 years. So we have like hundreds of past calls that are recorded that you can go and watch any of those. And also, if you're thinking, and I wanted to make this little note about, like, let's say you're afraid of getting coached in front of other people, you don't really like group stuff, it's still the best place for you because we also do anonymous coaching. So what that is when you join the family, you just change your name in there. So it's not your real name. And then you always keep your camera off. You know, you can cover it with a little piece of paper to make sure that it doesn't accidentally open up. And then, but also when we do our calls, I just make it so that we don't turn cameras on for you. And then you can just be anonymous voice only coaching. And that's a way to be able to get this coaching without having to put it all out there so no one else knows who you are. And I really, really love that feature. Okay, so overcoming mental blocks, the way that we help you overcome those is actually with the coaching. And we always call it, people always call me the belief ruiner because I ruin beliefs one at a time on purpose. Limiting beliefs. I mean, so those beliefs that are holding you back, the stuff like, oh, I'm a food addict, I'll never get this, or I can't do this, or I can't stay consistent, or I have a problem with sugar. I always say we don't actually have a problem with sugar. We don't actually have a problem with salty foods or sweets or pizza or anything else. We don't have a problem with any of those things. We only have a problem with learning to manage our emotions. We're just not very good at managing our emotions yet. Once we get really good at managing our emotions, I mean emotions like, oh, I'm too tired, I don't feel like it. That's an emotion, right? Or like, oh, I'm so stressed, I just need something to make me feel better. That's an emotion. We just need to get better at dealing with that stuff. And once we've dealt with that stuff and it feels better, then we're just automatically going to eat better. And it happens with everybody that I coach on a regular basis. Okay. So we will help you do that. There's also, I just want to like put in a little plug for the role of having other people around you, this community support thing, having other people doing the same thing as you. And it's one of the reasons that Blanca wants to come back to the group, has joined again, because, she says, I came back because I realized that there was nothing better out there. The way I teach is not restrictive. It tastes really good. You don't have to give up any of the foods that you love. It's going to be very healthy. You're going to love it. You're going to feel great. And then the other part that is so important for me is this community aspect, that it be loving and supportive and not like judgy, you know what I mean? Of like, oh, you shouldn't be eating that or whatever. We don't do that kind of stuff. And it really does foster this sense of, oh, I have people around me that I love that are going to respect me no matter what I'm going through. And so having that community support, I think, is so, so important. A little bit for, what's the word? Accountability. I don't so much, I mean, I like accountability, but I don't believe in it being the solution 100%. The solution to actually overcoming this stuff, as we mentioned in the beginning, is the way that we manage our minds and our emotions, the way we manage those thoughts, and how do we get through that stuff. So that's the actual solution here. And how do we do that? Well, it can be helpful to have a community that you can be accountable to, but more just a community that you can feel support from. They say that one of the risk factors for disease and for premature death is lack of community. This is a real, actual, studied, proven thing, that lack of community is something that causes depression, that creates worse health outcomes, etc. So having a community, to me, is so important, on par with eating well, on par with getting good sleep and drinking enough water and all these kinds of things. Having a community, a supportive community, is so important. Otherwise, most of us don't have nutritarian family members, or family members that are really good at eating healthy. Most of us don't have that, and we don't have it all around us. We might know one or two people that are like that, but they might not even be super close to us. We might just be sort of watching them from afar, right? Having a community of people who are literally shifting the way that they think on purpose and supporting each other and helping each other through is actually that's the key here. I think it's so important. Okay, I'm going to take a drink of my juice just so you know what I'm doing, because you can't hear me, I know. Okay, let me know, you guys, in the comment section. Do you have any questions about any of this? How is all this sounding to you? Does it sound helpful? Does it sound interesting? Let me know if you have any questions, especially over there on Instagram. You guys are real quiet. Let me know if you have any questions about any of this stuff. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to the end here. So we're going to just talk about a couple of success stories here. I didn't actually expect to hear a success story here, but Blanca has her own success story of having been in the family. The way that we eat is the healthiest way on the planet. There's no other healthier way to eat. We're going to teach you how to get there in a way that feels comfortable and doable for you. It's definitely going to help health outcomes. If you read the book Eat to Live, you can learn all about how and why. Obviously, that's not a medical claim. That's a claim from the book, which is not my book. It's Dr. Fuhrman's book. I've seen so many beautiful transformations, both weight and health-wise, with people doing this. Even my own personal transformation, like Blanca here, talking about that as well. A1C going up again from eating those other foods and stuff like that. But we don't want to just cut stuff out cold turkey. We think that that's the solution, but it's actually not. The solution is actually to learn to not restrict. And so I'll teach you there in the family, okay? So we have a beautiful success story from Blanca. We have other folks in the group who I'm not going to name any names because I don't have their permission, but I want to share. One of our members has been with us the whole time. She's a really, really lovely person and is going through a health struggle right now. And I've been coaching her for many months during this whole health struggle. And she's got a little ways to go on this one yet as well. But I actually had my own breast cancer journey back in 2021, in the middle of 2021. And that was, I found out just about 6 or 8 months after the family had opened. So I didn't tell anybody about it for when did I tell? I think I told in September of that year. We opened in January or February, and then I found out I had cancer in June, and then I didn't tell anyone until most of my treatment stuff was done in September, October. I think I told people in October. And so I went through that whole journey. I actually documented it in video, and you can see all those videos inside of the Eat to Live family from back in the day when I was going through all that. I did like a video log about all that. And now several of our members are going through their own cancer journeys, unfortunately. And it's such a nice place to have support, especially when something like that happens. If it ever happens, knock on wood, it doesn't happen for you. But to be able to learn how to manage our emotions and learn how to deal with those types of things in a sort of I don't want to say graceful, like as if grace, being nice or something like that is important, because that's not what I mean. I mean, being able to do it in a way that feels better for you, right? That you can actually weather that storm in a better way. And we know that when we have better emotional control in times like this, it actually lowers our stress, it lowers our cortisol, which is actually going to be better for whatever issue we're dealing with health-wise. So having a community can be so, so important. And we have another member who has a lot of issues when it comes to needing to make substitutions with food and things like that. And it's such a great place to be able to learn how to do that. Speaking from my experience, I when I had first started the Eat to Live lifestyle, I had to cut out spinach in the beginning because I started to get kidney stones. And I was using spinach every day in my smoothies, and I didn't realize that that was a big factor in creating kidney stones. It wouldn't be a problem for most people because 90% of the population would never form a kidney stone. But those lucky 10% of us, we need to stay away from spinach. So at that time, I remember being so lonely. I remember getting out of the, I think the doctor's, it was a nephrologist, a kidney doctor. And I was in the parking lot because they gave me a list of all the things I couldn't eat anymore. And it was like a bunch of Eat to Live foods. And I had just started doing this lifestyle about 6 months or 8 months earlier. And I just remember crying in the car because I didn't know what to do. And I was like, okay, I just started this lifestyle. I love it. It's so wonderful. And now you're telling me I can't eat half of these foods. And it was such a lonely place. And specifically the ability to reach out to somebody at that point and to actually have support and talk it through would have been so wonderful. And reasons like this are the reasons that people fall off, healthy eating all the time. And if we had some people that we could go to get support about whatever it is, even if it's not kidney stones or something medical, even if it's just a health issue, like a family issue, a social issue, something like that. We are working on that kind of stuff together all the time because this is life coaching. So helping you understand how to navigate the challenges of life and keep your health at the same time. Okay. So y'all are real quiet. I know it has a lot to do with my, my tech issues today. I understand that. So I apologize. I'll figure that out for next time, but can't be perfect. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I just want to say last, we really want you to join the family. Okay, so consider it. It's only $49 a month. If you want to commit to a full year, which I highly recommend, and even if let's say you commit and something comes up and you need to leave, we can figure out how to prorate something, if you don't want to stay the whole time or whatever. But committing for a full year, such an important thing to do because you're, as I always say, drawing that line in the sand and saying this year is about me. Okay, this year I'm taking care of me. And I've heard so many people say that, and then they really get amazing benefits when they decide to put themselves first. Okay, so down there at the bottom, join the Eat to Live family. That link is bit.ly/joinetlf for Eat to Live family. In there, we don't have to be strict. We have a lot of nutritarian recipes. Mostly what we do in there is nutritarian stuff, Eat to Live stuff from the book. But if you, and we have a lot of information now about how to do more flexitarian. If you're interested in keeping some of those animal products in, there's no judgment or anything like that. We're going to help you find the best way for you to eat. Okay. Tons of recipes, tons of resources. And that challenge that we just finished, the 7-day challenge, that's included in there as well. If you were to join, you could get that in there, as well as many other challenges that we've put on over the last few years too. Those are all included too, as well as the coaching calls, the videos, the courses, all the past replays, my vlog where I talked about my cancer and all those things that were going on with me and how I'm navigating things, and a whole lot more. So, okay, that's it for now. I hope to see you guys in the family. We'll be open for another few days, so don't miss out. Just go to that link if you want to join. I can't wait to see you in there. And I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. I'm going to be back, I believe, on Friday to do one final call about bringing you into the family. And I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, but I do have I will be talking about something specific like I did today too. Okay, so have an awesome week. Hope you guys had a good weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next live video or the next non-live YouTube video. Have a good day. See you. Bye.